The stress test for update 6.5 is here and is in open testing now where people can stream it and showcase content of it. So today I'm going to try and overview everything we can regarding update 6.5, everything I know of that I've been able to identify and find out that's in this update so far. I'm going to try and get it done as quickly as possible. So if you are new, feel free to subscribe, but let's just dive right into this update 6.5. We're starting off with the move to Unreal Engine 5.1. Yes, the Isle has now officially moved to Unreal Engine 5 or 5.1, which is what it has moved to this time by update 6.5. Now, this is probably one of the reasons why this update has taken as long as it has, mainly because this is a big engine upgrade, and now that we're seeing this completed, it does mean that the game can focus its efforts on other updates. Now, we won't be seeing the main stuff to do with Unreal Engine 5's upgrade until future upgrades. For example, the Lumen technology, the lighting technology that has better shaders, better lighting quality overall, better shadows, all of that probably won't be coming until update 7 or update 7.5. So do bear that in mind. But yes, we are now on Unreal Engine 5, which is great to see. There's a lot of dinosaurs in this update. There's 4 of them: Troodon, Gallimimus, Ceratosaurus, and Beipiaosaurus. Let's just get right into it with Troodon first. Troodon is one of the smaller critters in the game, as it's originally the original creature for update 6.5. Anyways, this will utilize a brand new mechanic, but I do want to say that this is a dinosaur that is a menace, especially in groups. It's a better group-based dinosaur from what I've found. If you see one on your own and it's on its own, you're probably going to be able to deal with it relatively okay, unless it's a very skilled player. But if you see a group of them, your days are numbered, you need to run away. That being said, this has a venomous bite ability. This gets applied to a dinosaur that you are hunting. Essentially, when it's applied, it will do damage to the opponent, a slow drain, but it's better to be applied in packs rather than when you're on your own. Essentially speaking, when you apply it, you want to kind of run away and let it sink through the enemy that you're hunting at first. Then you want to apply it again. So you kind of have that hit and run style. You don't want to apply it too many times, because then it just cancels the effects of it. So yeah, that is the venomous bite ability, and Troodon has now been added to the game, which is awesome to see. It's got a whole swathe of color options, nice patterns, nice growth stage. Everything about it is absolutely awesome, and yeah, I love the colors on it as well and the options that you can get from it. But something that I do like the options for colors is Ceratosaurus. Ceratosaurus is a good one to me. I really enjoyed playing it when I did play it the other day. However, I did die to the hands of a Carnotaurus. I will say that this dinosaur is weaker than Carnotaurus, so if you're going head to head in a fight against it, you need to be a bit mobile, use your speed, use your smaller mass to kind of get around places. Relatively, if you're fighting a Carnotaurus, you might be signing your death wish right there. That being said, it's a nice dinosaur. It does have quite a bit of variety on it. Firstly, you've got a bacterial bite. The bacterial bite is essentially a bite attack that adds bacterial effects to the opponent. A specific amount of this bacteria will cause your opponent to throw up, which is really cool, making them vomit uncontrollably. Only solve this by eating from salt licks or salt rocks. Then you've got the chuff ability, which is the Ceratosaurus free call. It then does this weird chuffing thing, which you cancel by free calling again. You do this around corpses, and I believe it gives you a buff while you're around corpses. However, that buff itself is not in the stress test just yet, or as last time I checked, mainly because, well, the devs have just said it's not there just yet, so we're waiting on that to come. Then you get a charged bite attack as well. The additional charged bite is the alt attack. You hold it down and then you release it. This can also be used as a free call to warn off people. Well, hey, I've got this charged bite and I'm not afraid to use it, kind of thing. And it does more damage than the standard bite. It just takes a bit longer to charge up, and then you do your bite attack, of course, and it's pretty obvious when you're doing it as well. Beipi is also in this update, and I love this one. This is one of my favorite creatures to come to the game, and yeah, this little semi-aquatic creature is basically a little semi-aquatic omnivore, being able to swim across the rivers. It's naturally buoyant as well, so you need to kind of go down and cling to the bottom of the riverbed. This is something that you'd need to do using one of the mouse keys. I think it's the alt attack. You press it and you kind of cling to the riverbed. That stops you from gliding up or floating up, which is also good because you can walk along the riverbed as well, which is really cool. Do be aware of your oxygen though, because it kind of does go down quite quickly, especially when you are an adult, and also when you jump out the water, you regain your oxygen. And also, I do want to point out, while you're under the water, you don't regain stamina. So you really have to sit on the open surface of the water or sit in a bush somewhere to regain your stamina at the moment, and that is pretty much that. You also can eat crabs. This is a new diet that Beipiaosaurus can eat. When you sniff, you see a new option in the sniffing compass, and that is a bubble icon. Those bubbles can be found under the water, and you dig up crabs by pressing G or F, I'm not sure what the key is, but you dig up crabs and then you can eat them while they float to the surface. It's a nice little food source right there. Other than that, you eat pretty much food, where's fish and berries and plants and stuff like that. You've got a varied diet there. The speed demon Gallimimus is the Isle of Evrima's update 6.5's fourth dinosaur here, and it's a great one to add. This one is quite a speedy demon, definitely. It's also got a very slow acceleration, so when you're running away from something, don't stop, because as soon as you stop, your acceleration is going to be a lot slower to get to that top speed. You're running well when you're at that top speed. When you're not, you're going to have a hard time getting there quite quickly. You do have a group ability, which is a group call, the mobilization call. This pretty much buffs your group speed while you're in a group pretty much. And it's activation by the group leader. If you have a better diet or a very good diet, that gives you a buff to that mobilization call, so you go even faster. I believe it's only a group ability at the moment. I haven't used the mobilization call just yet, but it could also be a standard ability as well, where it can benefit you anyways. But there we have it. That's all the dinosaurs. Now let's talk about some other stuff. We're going to rattle through these really quickly. Night vision is the first one. Night vision has been changed, so every dinosaur has different ones, and your diet affects your night vision as well. Now, I did notice Beipi's night vision when in the water is really bad, but it's better on the land, so that could be the same for Dinosuchus as well. Probably it's got better in the water and worse on land. However, Ceratosaurus' night vision isn't the best. But mainly carnivores have weaker night vision, whereas herbivores have better night vision. That's the kind of thing there, but it is a bit creepy when you're in the deep dark abyss. There could be something that has already seen you and you just don't know until it lunges out of the darkness. Next up, there are unique bleed modifiers. Essentially, this means that every dinosaur will have its own unique bleed modifier for its attacks. So some will do more bleed and some will do less bleed. That's pretty much that there. The water sensors have changed universally for both Dinosuchus and Beipi. Essentially, when you have it enabled, you can only actually see the pulse when something's at the surface of the water rather than in the water in general. This allows for stuff like Beipi to hide in the deep, dark, murky waters from big crocodiles, but when they're on the surface, that crocodile will know where you are. This is a universal change pretty much for all aquatics. There are some diet buffs and debuffs as well that I do want to talk about really quickly. Now, I didn't get to see this in game, however, I did grab this image which shows that there is a lot of negative stuff. So when you have a poor diet or diet deteriorating, you get growth rate decreased by -40%. Well, that's pretty much for this very unlucky person. We also get health locked or locked health regen decreased, stamina regen decreased, scent and night vision range decreased as well, blood regen decreased, bleed resistance decreased, health decay increased, stamina decay increased, and damage decreased. And you also become temporarily infertile as well. That is a stack. Now, I don't know how much of that is in update 6.5, but I also know some of the buffs and debuffs have changed massively, and that's one of the big meaty ones there. I do feel bad for anybody who gets that, however. The map changes, and finally with the map changes, they're not too big. But I did notice along the riverbanks there are less bushes now. This was also pointed out by Islander, who is another content creator for the Isle. Yeah, there's less bushes. This could also be used mainly for improving performance, or it could be used to make things, you know, just feel less dense. Either way, they do it in both ways. It betters performance and it makes things feel less condensed and less dense. I'll have to check out some other areas like the dense forests, but especially around rivers, there's a lot less bushes, which is nice to see. Finally, we have the replay mode, which is brand new in update 6.5. It looks like the Isle got a replay mode before Path of Titans, but is it as fleshed out than what we have seen from the teasers from Path of Titans? I don't think so. I think this one is very bare bones, and I feel like it's got less to it than Halo's. That being said, when you're in game, you press F2 and it records a replay on your dinosaur. That's for the dinosaur that you're playing as. Then you press F2 again to stop the replay. I think it stops when you die as well. Then you wait 30 minutes for the replay to kind of render and encode and all that jazz. And then once it's done processing, you can go into it. You have basic stuff like slowing down, speeding up the replay, going fast forward or backwards in terms of frames, skipping forward and all that. Then you can go in free cam as well. I thought it was a little bit clunky at first, but it's very good because you can get some good pictures of dinosaurs and stuff like that. That definitely can help get some really good images that other users and YouTubers can definitely use as well. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments down below. I really like replay mode, so I'm going to be spending a lot of time in this and seeing if I can get some really good images. And there we have it, everybody. That's everything to do with the Isle of Evrima update 6.5 that I've been able to dig out so far from the stress test. Now, I am on holiday currently, so I was going to say I was going to do some guides. I'm probably going to try do them when I get back. I might start with Beipi first, but if there's a dinosaur that you want me to cover straight away, let me know in the comments. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Have a great day. Peace.